This is Bob Litchfield, and I want to talk to you for a minute about the fabulous American message that I saw this weekend in the running of the Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Derby race, the fabulous horse race, ran this weekend, and like many others, I happened to be watching it. It was a rainy day, and it was a fabulous American story that came out of it. If you didn't watch it, basically what happened was that the fabulous thoroughbred race horses that come to the race every year were there. Their trainers who had spent millions of dollars on every horse were there to run in the race. The best horses in the world, an Arab sheik with his millions of dollars, maybe it was oil money. He was there with his multi-million-dollar race horses. And some of those multi-million-dollar race horses were favored to win. And then there was one horse that a horse trainer had bought at a sale for $9,500. He was not favored to win. In fact, the odds against that horse winning were 50 to 1. Second highest odds against a horse to win the Kentucky Derby ever. Horse was called Mine That Bird, a $9,500 horse bought by an American fella who apparently doesn't have a lot of money because he had to drive for something like 17 hours with a broken foot to get his one horse there to the race, and he'd never had a horse at the race before. It was a wet, rainy, muddy track, and that little horse took off a-running, and it beat all those other horses by a large margin. A $9,500 American horse beat the multi-million-dollar horses, beat the Arab Sheik's multi-million-dollar horses, beat everybody. Is that an American story or not? To me, it says everything about great American middle-class ingenuity and pluck that you can say when some guy can still win the Kentucky Derby with a $9,500 horse against the millionaires. God bless us all. America is a great place to live, isn't it? A second little piece that came out of that story that I love is what the jockey said about the horse. The jockey said, you know, the track was muddy, and my horse was a little smaller than the other horses, and it seemed to me like he was running a little more lightly across the muddy track than the other horses. The other heavier horses were digging in a little bit more, maybe sinking into the mud a little bit more. And maybe that's what gave him that little bit of extra speed that enabled him to beat the other horses by such a wide margin. He was running lightly in the mud. What a great analogy for what's going on in our country right now. Let's face it, our economy, our political system at the moment, we're in some deep mud. It's a muddy environment that we have to struggle through for the next few months. But you know what? If we lighten our spirits, we stay in close contact with our Creator, and we surrender our greatest worries to God, and we pray on a regular basis, and we force ourselves to choose to smile and be happy and to believe, and we lighten our spirits, then maybe we'll run lightly across that mud the way that little smaller $9,500 horse did. Maybe we'll run more lightly over the mud too, and we'll still win the race, because we are still middle-class America, and by golly, we can kick the butts of any millionaire anytime. That's what I say. I love you. God bless you. Lighten your spirit, pray, run lightly through the mud. See you at the finish line. Bye.